What's up, y'all? Straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Hit that like, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit them notifications too. Uh, let's get right to it, man. Um, Shout out to the whole entire LDBC basketball and boxing, and salute to all the people that continue to rock with me. Now we got we're talking about football right now. I'm switching it up a little bit, and Lamar Jackson is coming back. He's set to come back right now um, in week 9, and Lamar Jackson has actually uh, he's come with a renewed focus. Okay, Lamar Jackson had according to Yahoo Sports, Lamar Jackson has reportedly asked the Raven front office and organization to remove any ping pong tables, games, TVs, any of that stuff that's going to be a distraction to them um, from from winning a championship. Now we know that the Ravens haven't been the same. As a matter of fact, here's my thing about the Ravens too. Even when they had Lamar Jackson, they really weren't playing like that team that was hungry. And I said that at the beginning of the year. Now, can they go on a run here? Because we're in week 9. We got some teams that are in a similar situation that are struggling. We know that the Commanders are struggling, especially them uh, with them losing Jaden Daniels for a little bit, and then of course they lost their number one receiver. And here's my thing: can Lamar Jackson restore a little bit of hope? I mean, he is their leader. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think that I hate Lamar Jackson. No, absolutely not, man. That could be further from the truth. As a matter of fact, Lamar Jackson is my guy. But in comparison to um, guys like Pat Mahomes, I mean, his success rate hasn't been there. You know what I'm saying? And that's no knock on him talent wise, but we gotta carve everything down the middle. The fact of the matter is that Lamar Jackson in this situation right here and this year, and being that you know he's he's kind of on thin ice when it comes to the media saying that he's that guy and all that other stuff, right? He's on his last leg because now this is his time to win. Other than that, they're going to go ahead and they're going to move on. And I'm talking about the media. I'm not talking about the Ravens. But I don't put it all on Lamar Jackson. And here's why: Harbaugh has to take some of the blame too. And I've been saying that for quite some time. Some people disagree with me. Some people agree with me. But Harbaugh has a lot to do with the Ravens not being as successful as they are. Um, I believe that they'll win. They'll win a few games, but you got to think about these new teams that are arising in the AFC. You got the emergence of the Indianapolis Colts, right? Who are leading the AFC, if I'm not mistaken. You got the Denver Broncos. You got a young, hungry Jacksonville Jaguars. Of course, you can't go to sleep on Pat Mahomes and them. They're starting to wake up and everything. And nobody has really talked about, the Ravens and everything. Nobody really fears the Ravens. Okay, you still got the Buffalo Bills, and you can't forget about the uh, the New England Patriots either. Okay, so the the Baltimore Ravens, they're not they're not a factor. like that. Okay, they're not a factor like that. Lamar Jackson, will he be a factor? Yeah, he'll be a factor, but nobody fears Lamar Jackson like that. Like they fear a like a Pat Mahomes or and they're getting a chance to play and everything. Um, man, you got Bo Nix. You know what I'm saying? You got what's the name? Man, what old boy name from for the quarterback for the Colts? Um, Daniel Daniel Jones, if I'm not mistaken. These guys are getting their opportunity, and now they're showing. In the AFC, I got it, man. We got to call it what it is, man. The AFC is looking pretty strong right now. Now, don't get me wrong. The NFC, it's going to be some little bit of fight there. I mean, you never can go to sleep on the Eagles and everything, and you got some other a few other teams. The Lions. I don't really my squad Tampa Bay. We're showing like to be a hype job, and on top of that, no, we got injuries and stuff like that. I'm not taking our team serious. I don't think we're ever gonna win a championship with Baker Mayfield. I don't think we're gonna win a championship with Baker Mayfield, and I don't think Todd Bowles is gonna get us there. And then on top of that, we're we we, we have injuries. So, like I said, man, I'm not trying to make this video about other teams, but right now I'm focused on Lamar Jackson. It's going to be interesting to see how he comes back from injury. Is this gonna revitalize and revamp the team? I like that he's showing leadership by doing that, but is it too little, too late? Is it too little, too late? That's what we got to ask ourselves. Um, look, man, Lamar Jackson is from a talent perspective, man. Of course, he's second to none. But I will always say again, I will reiterate it, and I'll keep letting people know. We can sit here and talk about his talent all day long. We can sit here and make excuses for Lamar Jackson all day long. But if he doesn't get it done, all that stuff goes out of the window. All that stuff goes out of the window. I don't make all these excuses for these guys right here. If you're a great player, then you have to show me. Other than that, all they gonna talk about is okay, you being MVP and stuff like that. Other than that, you don't have no championship behind it. Now, will he be a Hall of Famer? Of course, he's gonna be a Hall of Famer and everything. But the thing about it is, you're always gonna have that blemish because when you ran up against Mahomes, guess what? You got defeated. When you ran up against Josh Allen, you got defeated. Like we got to call it what it is. And then on top of that, you can't go to sleep on the Steelers either. You know what I'm saying? Now they've had a little bit of slippage and everything, but a lot of people, Ravens fans, they got some hope out there in the DMV in the Baltimore area and everything. It's a good thing that Lamar Jackson is coming back. Will this give them a chance? Because they got to crawl out of that hole that they're in. And I'm not blaming, like I said, man, I'm not blaming everything on Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? All of this. Oh yeah, it's Lamar Jackson's fault because he's hurt and stuff like that. Injuries come with the game. Now it'd be different if he was faking the injury or he was just, quote unquote load managing. Now that load managing has been trending, it'd be different if we were talking about that. But we're not talking about that situation, man. And I don't think that Lamar Jackson with fake. You like a lot of football. Well, shoot, in my opinion, any football injury, man, you can't fake no football injuries, man. So many injuries happen, man. Unbelievable injuries. Stuff being snapped, broken. Dislocated, fractured, all that stuff, man. Shoot, you can't fake any of that in football. So I really tread lightly on saying somebody's faking an injury when it comes to football. But uh, I will say this though. I will say this, man, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and ride out. Lamar Jackson, man, uh, again, somehow, some way, he is gonna have to get it done. I would say either this season or next season. If Even if you have to get rid of Harbaugh, I know that right there, it doesn't seem like that's gonna be magic or anything like that. For you to get another coach, and then next thing you know, automatically start winning. Look, you are gonna have to do what you got to do in order for y'all to propel, because y'all have had many chances. Harbaugh hadn't been successful, I think, since the 12-13 season, 2012 13 season. We got to start looking in his direction. If everybody noticed, I haven't really been critiquing Lamar Jackson as much as I've been critiquing Harbaugh, because it does fall on him. A lot of that falls on him. Everybody seems to make all of these excuses for Harbaugh, and then they want to sit up there. They want to blame Lamar Jackson, or they want to blame Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? Hey, is Derrick Henry the best when it comes to end of games? No, he's not as good as like a Saquon Barkley, in my opinion. But it hasn't been all of what's it called fault, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson's fault. Let's start blaming the defense. We got to start talking about the defense for Baltimore. What about that? What about the coordinator that's on defense? We got to start looking at this sort of thing. Listen, and I've been critical of Lamar Jackson. Yes, I have. But at the same time, uh, oh boy, the tight end, he didn't catch that ball. Okay, he didn't catch that ball. We probably wouldn't even be having this conversation or whatever. But Lamar Jackson, I respect him as a leader for standing by him and everything. He probably beats himself. Probably in the back of his head, he probably mad at him and stuff like that or whatever. But he's not letting it show, and he's being a leader. He's saying, "Hey, we're moving on." You understand what I mean? It wasn't Lamar Jackson's fault. Okay, did he play? It was a team cohesive team cohesion situation that took place while they lost to last year. Okay, Lamar Jackson, he didn't play great in the first half. In the second half, he started to play great. You know what I'm saying? It was a combination of many different things. So when it comes to me critiquing Lamar Jackson, I'm looking at it from an overall success rate standpoint in comparison to a guy like Patrick Mahomes, who to me is the supremacy of the three quarterbacks, and the supremacy of quarterbacks in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? He's better than Jalen Hurts. Okay, he's better than Aaron Rodgers. He's better than Dak Prescott. He's better than C.J. Stroud. You know what I'm saying? He's been more successful than Lamar Jackson. He's better than, of course, Joe Flacco. You know what I'm saying? He's better than Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is adding up to what Mahomes has done. You could get mad if you want to, bring all this light skin, colorism, dark skin. Oh, he half black, half white, all this other stuff. You can do everything that you want to, but can't take away his titles. Can't take his Lombardis away. Okay, you can't take his Lombardis away. And you can't take what this guy has done over the course of his career. You know what I'm saying? And you can't take the fact that, he has natural God given ability and he has gotten it done. You know what I mean? So that's all I got. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, hit them notifications too. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. I'm out.